Good evening, people. I hope you're all well. It is a very, very rainy, rainy and wet outside, guys. Who cares about the weather right now, right? So, I've had a few hours to reflect of today's events. Started really early this morning. Now it's evening time and much to digest. I want to try and do this in the shortest time as possible and have this conversation with you guys. Don't want to take up too much of the evening. But in the end, let me start obviously with the early news with the Joe Lewis indictment. Now that I've had a bit of time to digest it all and stuff. For me, in the end, I believe what will happen is that everyone around him will fall like a pack of cards. I don't actually believe they're going to get round to dealing with him in any way or form. I don't see how Tottenham Hotspur Football Club will be involved in all of this unless there's people amongst his circle of friends that are also part of the club. But even then, I don't see how it will affect him. We know his status at the club. We know he doesn't really have any direct involvement with the club. So unless there's something on the Daniel Levy or something like that, I just can't see anything happening. In that merit, I don't see Tottenham being pulled into it all. If I'm all honest, that's my feeling. That's my take. Remains to be seen. But I don't think by the time they even get to deal with this case, I don't think Joe Lewis will probably be around. If I'm all honest, that's sweeping it under the carpet. I see all that happening. We've seen this many a times with powerful people, and Joe is definitely one of those. Moving on to today's game, Spurs winning 5-1. First half wasn't so great for the little I saw of it anyway live. Much better in the second half. But I said it before even the game started. I've been saying this for 2-3 days. I can't take this game seriously because the level of the opposition just simply wasn't great enough. We had a massive debate in the second half, during the second half, of how, we were expected to go and win 17-0 and stuff like that. I don't get anything from going battering the team 17-0. I don't think there's nothing to learn. The level of opposition was what it was. I don't think I think you subconsciously as a player just can't take it seriously. Even more so, there's not great importance other than gaining minutes in the legs, and 22 players we fielded today. 11 in the first half and another 11 in the second half. So not really much to take away from it other than gaining that 45 minutes. I think the test against Shakhtar and Barcelona will be the ones really. Will be a proper test. You can really check. The level of opposition is much better, and also it mirrors how much we've progressed in this whole pre-season. The disappointment factor for me still is the fact that we haven't brought in any defenders in. The thing about how I see it and how I've seen it for a little while, I think with 2-3 quality players, probably 3 quality players coming in, 2 centre backs, and a holding mid or someone who can screen those 2 centre backs and the goalkeeper, give that added protection. Literally just doesn't move from there. Just centre circle, who's somebody very good at a technical level, but also has the vision and the fitness to get himself about. I think that player massively important. The 2 centre backs with Romero will form a trio of good quality centre backs, ones that can complement with Romero. I've said this many a times now. One that can complement Romero who likes to attack the ball, likes to get in on the striker straight away. So somebody that really can read the game, can go on the cover, good distribution from the back, comfortable on the ball, even if it's under pressure. I think that's the type of defender. And also, if he has leadership skills, that will be fundamentally important because we lack leaders, and I think a leader from at the back will be actually of valuable importance. So for me, those two centre backs, the holding mid, we've got a new goalkeeper in there as well. He's going to need protection. He needs to develop an understanding with those two, with these centre backs and the holding mid, because essentially, if we have an attacking team, which is what we are seeing, the signs against West Ham and even today, the signs are that the full-backs go. The midfield also support it. At one point, we know it's 7-8 players inside the opposition half, which means that our defenders, especially our centre-backs, have to be able to deal with a one-on-one situation. They have to not be worried in the event that the defender, it goes one-on-one with a striker. It will happen in the way that we play. So, for me, you have to have a defender that says, you know what, I don't mind that challenge. I don't mind going one-on-one with a striker. However good that striker is, I don't mind going one-on-one with him. So, I don't see that. Currently with what we have, I don't think even Romero likes the one-on-one. So, for me, there's no way Davis will, there's no way Dyer will, and so forth and so forth. So, we think, whilst we need to get players that are not required in those positions out of the door, we really need to get the ones that we are after. I don't know if it's Van de Ven anymore or Tapsobia, whoever. Bring them in so they can quickly get that understanding going. And the longer this is going on, the worse it is, because the Premier League games are fast approaching. So we need to get that sorted out. And this, with this Joe Lewis situation and what have you, it's not good. It's not good for what we're trying to create. But it's not good for the ambience at the club. It's not good to have that limelight or that light shed on, put on you with what we, because we should be really concentrating on what's happening on the pitch and trying to get that sorted out. So that's for me, that's the one thing that really grinds on me, that if we get those three players in, then if Kane leaves up front, then of course you need to go and sort that out as well. Of course, I understand that. But given how things currently are, we are really three really good quality players away from having a really good season. We got literally no European football, so that means we can fully focus on the league games. We can fully focus on the cup, on the domestic cup. Trying to get a little run going on there. And I think that if with the squad, we don't have to have a big squad. So really right now, it's all about making that first 11 super, super good. And I don't think we're that far away from it. And of course, if you then start getting the likes of Bentancur back in the squad in October, November, that's when we're expecting him back. If we have that, this situation cemented really well, him coming back into the side will be a lot more smoother, because he'll be playing with good players around him, so he can add his little bit to the party. And I think that for me is that's on reflection. Now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect on it and having seen the game today, but also I'm taking into the fact of what I saw on West Ham. Then you've got the impact players like Solomon that can come on. He's always looks like he's hungry whenever he plays, so he can offer a little bit there as well. We've got. I still think we're missing something in the midfield. I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it right now, but I want to see more from Bissouma. Maddison needs to come in. Him and Kane are stepping on each other's toes right now, so that needs to be improved. But when Richarlison plays, because he plays right up there, it allows a lot more space in behind him, which is why Lo Celso's getting the joys that he is. So Lo Celso, another player that I think could come into it. He's somebody that I think with Maddison will fit that number 10 role. For me, is cemented. Where does that leave Ndombele? For me, I've said it many a times, get rid, because I think with Maddison and Lo Celso, that area of the pitch is covered. Then you've got Bentancur, then you've got Bissouma. You get that real solid holding midfielder, whether it be Frank Kessie, whether it be Amrabat, or whether we get players of that calibre in that area to screen, to protect the two centre-backs. If we get caught up the hard pitch, he will form the three with the two centre-backs. So it allows the full-backs to go. We are not that far away, and that for me is what's frustrating. Because we're still, to this day, we're coming up to August, and the league games are fast approaching. 2 games left of the pre-season. We haven't even got them in. And we're not talking about 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 million players. We're talking about players like Van der Ven, who are 30 plus million. Well, we need to get them in. Get them in, because I think our season will change from like this to like this. That is the difference of what kind of season we can have. Real top 4, 5 area, top 6, maybe back into Europa, if not the Champions League, and then having a season where you're finishing 8th or 9th. That's how I see it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. Smash that like to the video. Your support is always gratefully appreciated. For those of you who jumped on and subscribed of recent, welcome to the channel, guys. Really look forward for you to enjoy our content moving forward. For those, all the OGs have been there from the start. Always a great pleasure to have you viewing the content, of course, and seeing many of you in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, forever always, it's come on, you swear.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.